So here are some final tips about how to fine-tune and perfect renderings. I tinkered with this rendering scene a little bit more, and here are some of my settings. So the world I can set to 0 or to kind of like 0.2. And in the previous video you saw here, these parts of the metal were very reflective. So when I turn on my rendering here, you see my rendering is actually close to the photo. How did I do this? Well, the whole trick was the light that's actually in front is above the object. You see, I moved it down where it was before. It shines the light to it, and actually it casts then the reflection on it. And if I pay attention to the photo, you can see here's the object height, but here's the shadow height, which is an indicator that the light is actually simply more above. You see, that's it already. Just moving this light up a little bit. And obviously, as you can see, I just rotated it along the RXX axis. Very good. So that was like one little tip. Second tip with the materials. So when I select here the packaging, this roughness, I think at the beginning I had at 0.3, which makes this kind of blurry. But also here you can see this is rather sharp. I don't have this here, so it can't be 0.3. 0.2 is maybe too sharp. 1.2, yeah, that's better. Now matching the color really helps when you go with the saturation and the hue in HSV slider. Because in here I can very gently move these values, and I hold shift and then I click in it. Otherwise you jump really fast. So shift and then click, and then we can slide and move it till basically we have a match. No? So that's one trick how to do the metal stuff. What else should we do? Yeah, so the reflectivity for the metal we talked about, the white of the packaging. So I had this, I think, 0.3. So a little bit of reflectivity, which can make this really bright. If I set this to 0, look at that. This is more grayish. This is more grayish. This packaging is slightly reflective, so maybe with a 0.1 we can still do something like this. So when I turn the selection off, I can still see the background and the packaging. Very good. Okay, so that problem is solved. I talked about the world. If we set this to 0, yeah, we could if we want to. That works too. 0.5. This is pretty bright. 0.2. No, so that's for you to play with. Yeah, so in the photo here we see the structure. In my rendering here I see the structure, and then I did a rendering and I had pyramid raw turned off. So you can still see actually in the 3D view rendering the structure, but if we now do a rendering, you will see the structure is missing. And that's simply because I turned off the pyramid. Turning this on, makes the whole thing pop up. There they are. See? Okay, so in case this happens, now let's take a peek at the pyramid. Okay, here, raw pyramid. Do you have any material? No. Oh, this one does not have a material. Yeah, that maybe explains it. So here, let's say this is white plastic, and the top is white plastic, and my pyramid is white plastic, and this is white plastic. Yeah. So that works actually a lot better now. Maybe really a tick too reflective. If I go to here, I can see how much this reflects the background. If I look to here, I don't have this effect, so we can tune down this effect again via a good specularity setting or roughness there, 0.15. Yeah, okay, nice. So, this one is right now in our rendering. I will explain at one point how we can fix this, because if we select this pyramid, so no, wait, where is that pyramid? Go on and zoom in. There. So when I select this one and I hide it, you can see here in the rendering this one pops up. So the problem currently is we want to see the structure during rendering, but then this is kind of like in our way. So we could Photoshop this, or we could select, so this system that creates the array, then we go to object and we go to apply here, make duplicates real. This then actually would create all these individual pyramids as real objects. With such a tiny detail here, I might actually not do this and then simply later go in with Photoshop and try to clean this up a little bit. What happens actually when we just select this one? Yeah, see, we can move this away because then this happens. Okay, good. Yep. And last render tip. You see, when I zoom in, the text is actually, well, it gets blurry. But it's actually pretty sharp, properly sharper than your place. So when I give an export, let's say here I set this to 200 pixels on purpose. So check out what will happen. There we can see, wow, this looks totally blurry. So the image does not have enough resolution. So when you want to do good renderings, particularly bigger renderings, 1,000 is maybe nice, but come on, 3,000 is actually better, or 4,000. And this actually makes that stuff nice and sharp. There, you see that again. Okay, and I think this pretty much kind of like sums everything up. How I created now then this rendering. That actually looks pretty decent. It's pretty close to the actual photo. I mean, the materials are not 100% captured. Also, the roundings and the drop shadows are a little bit off, but that's fine. You know, this is just a rendering. It's not a photo of a real product. The last thing maybe to show is how we could work with this here and adjust this. So this is actually something we can do in Photoshop. So we render that thing out. So we see here this, we should actually make more like a grayish plastic. See, this is more grayish plastic if we compare the colors. So we could re-render this. But I will save this image as a PNG. That's good. And let's fire up my most favorite photo editor, Pixelmator for the Mac, $15. Super cheap. Does all the stuff you need. Forget photo crap. So what do we do now? Pretty easy. I select with an eyedropper the color. Then I go to the brush. Again, same commands in Photoshop. All the same stuff. And I just brush this stuff over. Ta-da. That also looks, as you can see, pretty much the same. Now here's the trick. I make this a little bit bigger. Okay. And holding Shift, I can brush kind of like left and right. See that it creates a feather effect. And yeah, you might have to brush maybe this way a little bit. So just doing a little brush this way might not be enough. So I can go ahead and paint there a little bit. See, now we can start looking at that. It's not 100% really convincing. So what I will do, the next thing is like this. So here I actually created myself a copy, as you can see. And where is the eraser? Yeah, normal eraser. Okay, very good. Well, actually, hold on. I could properly do this with the. Could not do this. Oh, there. Come on. Time is ticking. Ooh. And there I want this, please not be part of this. Okay, good. So all this I remove. Now see there, we have a nice original object, and then there, here I will just make a new backdrop. I will sample this color, then I fill this backdrop with that color. There you can see that. Sample this color. See, that's better. There. And then what I need to do now is this shadow I have down here. I could add a mask if I want to. And then via maybe a gradient or big brushes, I will paint with black over it. Yeah, so this is a little bit better. What I'm doing actually is I'm painting here inside this mask. The mask simply, as you can see, makes certain areas transparent. And the advantages with the mask, and the reason why I did this second copy, is if I simply paint bigger, the other element might not be cut away. You see, it's still there. So it's a little bit of a compositing trick. You don't have to do it this way. You could also just live without the first copy and just use a mask and then brush over it that way. But there you see, no? That's actually pretty close to the original photo. Not too bad. Maybe some more color matching, a little bit working on the metal. This may be too reflective now. And for those who have photo crap, let me show you where the mask stuff is there. It's always the same. So you see why I really don't give much about this. It has to be Photoshop. Come on, TikTok. It's another reason why I hate it. You notice how quickly this program started. Where this Photoshop. Okay. There we are. Where's the rendering? There's the rendering. It takes even ages to load an image. Oh my god. How is that company in business? It's impossible. They're really smart in marketing. No, I don't need to learn this crap. Never told you to show me this. Libraries, fuck this. Oops, bad language. Okay, I'm making a new layer. Put this below. Go to white. And where's the paint bucket? Why am I blind? This sucks. Paint bucket, where are you? Seriously, where's the paint bucket? I don't find it right now. Oh, paint bucket. Stupid icon. No, it's filled. Very good. Wait, that was the wrong color. And eyedropper. Did they now hide the eyedropper? Oh my god. What did they do? Why are all the icons at a different position? Zoom. There. Okay. Back to there. So we filled it. Go to here. There, that's the layer mask. Then we go to brush. Okay. Right click opens the brush tool. Okay, and then we start brushing. Wow, you see? So you can pay $30 or whatever per month, or you can pay $15 one time and do exactly the same with the software. But there, you see, no? Same stuff. And we also have to clean up the top area. Woo. There we are. Pretty awesome, no? Doesn't look too bad. It's actually pretty good. How's actually our mystery piece? Oh, it didn't even pop up. How did I manage that? Oh, never mind. I beat myself. Perfect. Okay, that's it. Time for me to go to bed.